How's it going, softball fans? Adam Paul, Brain Sprint here. Another edition of the softball podcast. Red Helix High School, in front of the baseball field. It's a long story. We'll get. I don't even know if I'll explain it to you or not. But anyway, softball podcast in front of the baseball game. Got it? Cool. We're good. Let's get to our top 10. New top 10 this week. We're actually pretty close on teams when we were putting this together. But let's go where we differed. Receiving votes, Mission Hills and Granite Hills. You had Granite in your top 10. I had Mission Hills in my top 10. Didn't even out for us, but Granite Hills and Mission Hills right on the cusp of, getting into the top 10.
Yeah, two teams, that have been on little winning ways this past week. Mission Hills beating Scripps Ranch on Saturday, 10-8. And then, Granite Hills winning the last three games the last three games go 2-0 in league, including yesterday's game against West Hills, 12-1. And then previous game, 3-0 over, 9-0, 6-0 over Steel Canyon.
Yeah, well, then Mission Hills beat Claremont 9-0, and then they lost to Vista, which is a team that's not, as good as. So it's just there's so many teams like that this year. Just there'll be good teams, lose to not so great teams, and back and forth, yada yada yada. Bottom 5 of our top 10, Rancho Buena Vista. Makes it into our top 10 for the first time. Then Eastlake drops all the way down to 9. Mount Carmel stays the same at 8. Carlsbad drops down to 7. And Claremont drops a couple spots down to 6. What can you say about the bottom 5 of our top 10?
RBV, they're playing San Marcos today. They've won 3 games in a row going into today's game. Mount Carmel, they beat Del Norte the other day pretty handily. Mara Miranda and company just handled the Nighthawks. Said Carlsbad.
Yes.
Carlsbad. They beat Canyon Crest pretty handily, 15-0. LCC 3-1. Their big test will be Tuesday as they take on the Cathedral Catholic Dons. They're on a good roll going into that contest. Who else did you say? I'm sorry. Claremont. They're actually on a roll right now. They came back to beat Christian 8-2. The other day, Maddie Jacobs hit a walk-off grand slam. 6-2. I'm sorry. They beat Christian yesterday on a Maddie Jacobs 8th inning walk-off grand slam. So, they're on a roll right now in that city part of that city league.
And what's funny about the bottom half of that top 10 is, Mount Carmel beat Del Norte. Del Norte crushed Carlsbad, which is like a couple spots in front of them. Claremont loses to Mission Hills, which is just, barely cracking in. They're all kind of beating each other. It's going to set up for a good playoffs and a good end of league play. As we get to the top 5 here, Modern Day Catholic's back at number 5. You could tell that there was definitely an injury because as soon as the player came back, all of a sudden they're trouncing teams.
Yeah, UCLA commit Lexi Sosa came back from arm trouble, from what I was told. She hit in the last 2 games 3-run home runs in each of the last 2 games. They beat Eastlake pretty handily 14-4, and then Hilltop 14-2. With Lexi Sosa back in the lineup, Modern Day, the Crusaders are pretty back to their winning ways, as you want to call it.
So they're number 5. Number 4 is Santana. They move a giant, run up, and they've been in between the top 5 and the bottom half of the top 10 throughout the year. And then Poway, San Marcos, and Cathedral Catholic, top 3. They're pretty much pretty close. You could make an argument for all 3 of those teams to be in any order there in the top 3.
Yeah. San Marcos, is playing RBV again today. Like I said, last I checked, it was 8-1 San Marcos late in that game. There's, as of right now, there's not much separating those top 3 teams, except maybe a bat here and a bat there, maybe and the pitching. They both have pitching. It's good. That's what's going to make it exciting for the rest of the, almost coming up to the end of the season, going into the playoffs. And the top 2 teams actually have big games. I mean, huge games this weekend.
Huntington Beach and Norco.
Yeah.
San Marcos is playing Norco this weekend. Cathedral Catholic's playing Huntington Beach. Big-time games. We usually pick those, but, we're going to be biased and just say the San Diego teams are going to win those. Speaking of game picks, last week I went 3-2 and you went 2-3. Both got Liberty Charter right. Both got Santana right. Both missed on Olympian and Central winning, and then we split with the Bonita Vista and RBV. I took RBV, and Adam took Bonita Vista. what can you say about some of these games? Any surprises? A little bit of a surprise with Rancho Buena Vista, maybe in the Bonita Bun. That was kind of a 50-50 matchup. I was kind of shocked about Olympian beating Eastlake, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, Eastlake has been, since we went and saw them play Grossmont and then winning that game 4-0. They've been on a roller coaster. The next day they beat Cathedral 1-0, and then the next game they lose. Next game they win. Next game they lose. Olympian's one of those up and coming teams. Coach Gross has got the Eagles down in the South Bay doing something. He's building that program pretty well. Again, a little more consistency. But you know what? I wouldn't take them for granted when it comes to the playoffs.
That's a team that you don't want to play. They throw the record out. You don't want to play them. They're a good team down in the South Bay. But again, the consistency level is the cause for concern when it comes to Olympian, being in the top 10 or for us to pick Olympian. Let's get into the games for next week. There's 5 games that are going to be good. Game on Monday next week is going to be good, and then everyone else, we got basically a Super Tuesday on Tuesday. So Del Norte at Mission Hills. We're going to pick 2 Mission Hills games this week because they got a pretty brutal schedule. Okay. Del Norte at Mission Hills. Del Norte's a team that hammered Carlsbad in the top 10, but then lost to another team in Mount Carmel in the top 10. You don't know what you're going to get out of Del Norte. Mission Hills kind of the same way. They beat Scripps, and then they beat Claremont, and then they lose to a Vista team. You got the Grizzlies, or do you got the Nighthawks?
I'm going to go with the Grizzlies just from what I've seen. Ari Quiones and company, I think they're a little more consistent than the Nighthawks.
I'm taking the Grizzlies as well. That gives us to our next Grizzlies game on Tuesday. So we got back-to-back games. They are going to San Marcos, battle for San Marcos for 78 supremacy, if you will. This is a game I'm not going to go with Mission Hills. I'm going to go with San Marcos. I think they're going to, show why they're number 2 in the county, and the argument for number 1 in the county.
Yeah, they'll be coming. San Marcos be coming off the big game on Saturday against Norco. I think Coach Tidd will have them ready for Tuesday's game against Mission Hills, no matter what that outcome is on Saturday. I like you, Braden. I'm going to go with San Marcos.
So we both got San Marcos. We both got Mission Hills in the 2 different games, and then we got down in the South Bay, Olympian at Otay Ranch. 2 kind of iffy teams when it comes to consistency. Otay Ranch will beat. Yeah. They're a tough team. They're a scrappy team, and they gave Santana a fight last week. And then you got Olympian that they could beat Eastlake and then lose the next day to a team that's not an Eastlake caliber team. So Olympian Eagles, Otay Ranch Mustangs. I'm gonna go with the Eagles of Olympian.
I'm gonna go with Olympian as well, just because I like what Coach Gross has got going on down there in the South Bay. Otay Ranch, I've seen them play a few times this year. I know they gave Santana tough fits last week, only losing 2-1. But I got to go with the Eagles.
Both got the Eagles. We're picking very similar this week. I think Adam just wants to get on my great picking train. I'm going to brag because Haseen killed me in girls basketball. So, it ebbs and flows when it comes to game picking in high school sports. Carlsbad at Cathedral. You mentioned this when we were going over the top 10. Pretty big game up in the North County. It's hard for me to go against the Dons ever, so I'm going to stick with Faremo. The first time they played, Cathedral handled them after they put Faremo into the game, so I'm going to go with the Dons.
Be crazy not to. I mean, the Dons, it's at home. I believe, right? It's
as long as they have umpires, I think that game will be played, which they never have umpires or referees for any sport for some reason. And, not to throw a jab at them, but you got to get your officials at the games. Okay.
Again, coming off the game against Huntington Beach, I think Coach Margaret will have her squad ready to go for that game on Tuesday. I know Carlsbad's going to be licking their chops, but got to go with the Dons, Faremo, and her dominance in the circle.
We might have to go to that game next week and finally get Faremo on the show. And then the last game, Santana at Brawley. Brawley's a team that, they're good out in the Inland Empire, or the Imperial Empire, sorry. But they come out here, and it's just not the same. But Santana's going to Brawley, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of a tough road trip for them. You know Santana really well. Sultans or the Wildcats?
That long bus ride is going to be interesting. As you know, having played high school sports, the long bus ride always has an effect usually on teams. I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna go with the Wildcats. Actually,
he's picking against East County, out in East County. Are you kidding me?
Gut feeling here, man.
You're in the heart of East County and La Mesa, and you picked against the Sultans. I'm gonna stick up for you. I'm gonna pick the Sultans in your honor. Okay, so if I win that game, I'll give you a point for that.
I know.
Picking the Sultans.
I know that all the people at Santana, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about, Adam?" But I don't know, man. Just going down there, the Wildcats have been playing pretty good ball lately.
And it's tough to go in any sport. It's tough to go out there and win. I love it. That's great. Okay, let's get into our shout-outs. I got Kyla Blanco of Julian. She's got a 645 batting average, which is top 3 in the San Diego section. Then I got Calipatria as a team. They're hitting 535 as a team, or 533 rather. And then I got Paige Dimler, a freshman at Rancho Buena Vista. She's got 9 home runs on the season as a freshman. Yeah, tearing up, getting 9 home runs, putting her team in the top 10. And then my last one is Cedrina Rodriguez, a junior at Southwest El Centro, 149 strikeouts on the year as a pitcher.
Yeah, I got a couple shout-outs here. Going down to the South Bay, Olympian, Coach Gross. Sydney Sands, Sydney Sands, who upped the Eagles in that game against Eastlake 2-1. She went 7 innings, giving up the 1 run on 3 hits. Walked 1 and struck out 6. She has a .90 ERA on the season. Has struck out 64 batters in 62 innings, and a 6-4 on the season. So she's helping the Eagles down there do their thing and make them a contender in their division for playoffs. My second shout out is to Jordan Brown of Grossmont, who went 3 for 3, scored 2 runs, and drove in 7 RBIs the other day in their game. She also had a double and triple in the win against Point Loma. So against Point Loma, she drove in 7 RBIs. That puts her into the CIF section record book here in San Diego. I'm not quite sure where, but I have to look that up. But, she'll be in the record book. It's pretty cool.
Record book is good.
Then my final one, Mission Bay, Cassidy West, the sophomore sensation. She had against Morris the other day. She went 7 innings, gave up 1 hit while striking out 14. She has 8-1 with a .75 ERA and has now struck out 101 batters in 55 and 2/3 innings.
A lot of great shout-outs again. Get your stats in so we can give you a shout-out and give the recognition where it's due. We're getting ready for the playoffs and the rest of the league play as the league play starts to thin out and come to a conclusion. Yeah. Adam Paul, Braden Suprenant, we'll see you guys next week on the Softball Podcast.